Sunday. The origins of Sunday worship are rooted in ancient Roma. The Romans named the days of the week as we know them today, and the first day of the week they named Dies Solis, a Latin phrase meaning day of the sun. They believed the sun held dominion over all the other planets or stars, and as such he should be honored by ruling the first day of the week. Angels. Although many of us think of angels as having taken root in Christianity, such is not the case. Their origins are far older than that. Each of the archangels' names include the word El, which means shining one, and was the name of the ancient Hebrew sun god, predating biblical times. The ancient Egyptians believed that angels were made of fire, and since they were able to fly across the sky just as the sun, they were sacred solar creatures. Angels were held accountable to a higher power, which is Queen of Heaven in ancient times, also known as Ishtar, Inanna, Isis, Ishara, and Shekinah. Today she is commonly known as the Virgin Mary. Her clothing is usually either gold trimmed or called the color of the sun. Due to modern connection to Christianity, many practitioners shy away from evoking angels' assistance in their workings. But angels will help anyone who asks for their help. Wheel of the Year. All 8 Sabbats are fire festivals and somewhat related to the sun. The equinoxes bring the balance of light and dark, and as such, their strengths lie on one just as much as the other. The solstices, on the other hand, each is intrinsically wrapped up in the sun, so much so that without him there would be no need for the solstices at all. Yule and Litha celebrations would cease to exist. There would be no start date for winter or summer. Most practitioners choose to work with the moon, and although it's nothing wrong with that, I myself love the moon, but you have to wait for the perfect moon phase to do your workings, and this can be really time consuming, especially when you need something fast like protection or to get a job and you can't wait until the next week because you have bills and rent to pay. But magical conditions are in place every single day. Although sun and moon have lots of energies in common, they are also opposite to each other. The sun moves through different phases all day long, where the moon takes much longer to complete her path, and using this constant flow of energy avails the practitioner of nearly any magical influence necessary, regardless of the effort. All we have to do is be ready to go when the proper sun phase arrives. If you don't have much experience with sun phases, it's a good idea to attune yourself to their energies before using them magically. By doing that, you'll know what each energy feels like and what to expect. This also will help you to develop a firm relationship with the god aspects of the sun that is important when you're asking for his help. The infant, young child sun. Young child sun is enthusiastic, courageous, self-confident. This sun is the inner child. So tune yourself to the young child. Think back to your childhood and make a list of things that you used to enjoy as a child. When I think of my childhood, I remember loving spending time outside in nature. I loved climbing on trees, especially picking apples, walnuts, cherries. Really, any tree that had fruit was my favorite. Want to make a list of your favorite things to do when you were a child? Pick an item each day and spend a few minutes to fully embrace it. The adolescent brother, lover, sun. This sun is at the highest of his sexual peak. For this reason, the lover sun speaks to you of both expansion and romance. To connect with this sun, think back to the time when you were 17 or 18. Remember how nothing was impossible, how everything was fun, and how goals were nothing more than victories you hadn't yet achieved. Think about love and romance. Again, make a list of things that you enjoyed doing at that age and take one at a time every day. Try to remember how it felt when you were doing those things to connect with this sun. The father sun. To connect with this sun, think of how it feels to be a parent. If you don't have children, like myself, it's okay, just imagine having them. Think about the responsibilities involved, the love shared, and the joys that your children could bring. Think of your own parents and what would you do differently as a parent. The sage, warrior sun. To connect with this sun, go back to some of the most difficult times in your life and pay attention to how you handled them. Think of what would have happened if you had chosen a different solution and determine whether you'd handle things differently should the situation arise again. The grandfather, sacrificial sun. This sun forces us to look at our own morality. Connecting to this sun is not just about endings, it's also about memories made, risks taken, and goals achieved. Think about all the wonders that have filled your life. Think about connections made and the roles that they played in your growth. Look at your accomplishments. Think about what you've done for others over the years. Know that you have a lot to be proud of. So to be able to connect with the phases of the sun and know how these energies feel like, you want to go back and look at your life at different stages that I already mentioned. Try to remember how it felt like when you were so young and naive and so full of curiosity. When you were an adolescent and you had fun with your friends and many romantic stories. Try to think and feel how it's like to be a parent and have responsibilities, and how it's like to fight when you had hard times in your life, and about the experiences that you had in your life that made you grow. So the dawn phase belongs to the infant, young child sun. You can do workings at this phase related to new beginnings, fresh starts, and change. New jobs, new relationships, new directions in life, or new perspectives. Renewal of hope and trust. A reclamation of personal joy, or a recovery of good health or physical energy. A broken heart can be held at this phase of the sun as well. Working outdoors where you can see the sunrise can be a benefit to your workings, but a window can be very helpful as well. Because the sun rises in the east, it would be nice if you can face that direction. Morning, adolescent, brother, lover sun. Anything related to building, new growth, expansion, resolving situations where courage is necessary, and to bring warmth and harmony to home and family. This sun is good for working towards uninhibited cash flow, gardening, plant magic, also workings related to love and romance. Noon, father sun. You can use this phase for workings regarding matters of the heart, finances, justice, protection, health magic, strength, and personal energy. You can also charge your crystals, keeping in mind that not all crystals can be charged in the sun, like amethyst, so please do your research before you decide to do that. Afternoon, sage warrior sun. You can use this phase for business matters, communication, professionalism, exploration of new ideas, adventures, travel, and personal wisdom. Sunset, grandfather, sacrificial sun. You can do workings regarding cleansing, getting rid of bad habits, eradicating personal aggravations like stress, confusion, and poor health, uncover deceptions, divinatory skills, and psychism. While to learn more about sun magic, you can read Everyday Sun Magic by Dorothy Morrison. I really enjoyed this book, but you have to keep in mind that the author is Wiccan. It shouldn't be a problem for most of you who don't practice this religion like myself, as you can just read past it. Other than that, this book have more in-depth information on the subjects that I mentioned in this video, so I would suggest to read this book if you are interested in learning more. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more witchcraft content. It really would help my channel grow, and my videos could be recommended to more people that would love to learn more about this practice. Like this video if you enjoyed it, and I will see you in my next one.